Hey y'all, it's your girl Nick coming to you, wishing you a happy Valentine's Day. I'm pretty excited that it's Valentine's Day. I've always celebrated it because that's how I grew up. My dad always got something for me and my mom, balloons and flowers, some chocolate. So I've always celebrated it. However, my husband does not celebrate it. Which I agree with him to the point where he feels that you should make a big day thing about the day because you should be showing your love all year long. And I agree with that, but that's just how I was raised. Just get a little something. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. And I've been kind of working on him this time because we've been together for 3 years and he's never celebrated Valentine's Day with me. I always just got him something, but he's never got me anything. So I'm like, look, just a little something. It doesn't have to be something expensive. I don't need jewelry. Like, you can give me a nice card and just write something really sweet in it, and that will make my day. So he said this year I get to have a Valentine's Day because he was sick recently, and I became his personal nurse. So I had to take care of him. So he was like, you've been taking really good care of me. I'm gonna give you Valentine's Day. So I'm pretty psyched that I got Valentine's Day. I woke up to a delivery of some nice flowers, mixed flowers with some roses. It was really beautiful, and a card, and a little teddy bear, and this little teeny tiny box, like the world's smallest box of chocolates, which I appreciate because I'm trying to lose weight. You guys know that I am on a weight loss journey. I've been on this journey since mid-October of last year in 2016. I'm doing a 1,200 calorie diet. Working with a nutritionist on that. We just started carb counting about a month ago at this point. I see her again on this Friday, so I'm going to be talking to her about, I'm still struggling with the carb counting thing. I find that with the Vyvanse, because this is week 7 that I've been on Vyvanse. So with the Vyvanse, I find that, I wake up, I take it at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not hungry. Like, I really just don't want to eat anything. I don't even get hungry till maybe noon. I usually eat between noon and 2 o'clock because I'm just not hungry. I don't want to eat in the morning. So I find that I've been doing really well with the carb counting during the day up until dinner. Like, I eat between 12 and 2. I'll have like breakfast. And then I may or may not have a snack around 3. Usually I try to eat something, just, a handful of nuts, something. And then dinner, I do really well. I stay within my numbers for carbs for dinner. But then what happens is I get to this point after dinner where I log all my calories for the day. I use MyFitnessPal, which is an awesome app and website. If you've never used it, I highly recommend you download the MyFitnessPal on your phone app on your phone. It's free. They do have a paid version of it, but you can get all the things you need to do with the free version. So I don't pay because I think it's like $50 a year if you want to have a premium. I don't need that. So, what happens is I get to dinner, I log in my dinner, and then I'm like, oh shit, I haven't eaten anywhere near my calories that I should have for the day. Sometimes I'm only at 500 calories by dinner time, after dinner, to maybe 700. So then I get into this where I'm not binging, but I'm just making myself eat something to build up my calories so I get closer to the 1,200. I had gotten to this a couple weeks ago. I got to this really bad habit of when I was padding my calories, I was eating chips. I get the little Cheetos is my thing right now. I get the little, lunch size ones. So it's limited to, I think each one of those is 160 calories. So I limit it to that. I don't get the big bag because I don't do so well with portion control when I get the big bag. But I'll eat like 3 or 4 of those. And that's the worst thing that I could be doing when it comes to carb counting and trying to but try to regulate my blood sugars. Because each one of those has, I think, somewhere between 14 and 16 grams of carbs. My snacks should only have about 15 grams of carbs. So I'm loading, a couple of those. That's the worst thing I could be doing is having all these carbs right before dinner. 1, it's not going to be productive to my weight loss. 2, I'm flooding my body with carbs right before dinner. Right before dinner. I can talk today. Right before bed. And then my pancreas is going to overload to produce all this insulin to bring those, those sugar levels back down in response to those carbs. and my pancreas is going to be overworking. It's already overworking. We know that I have high insulin levels. So we know that my body is overworking to compensate to keep my blood sugars within normal. However, my last labs from the 2nd of February show that they were all pretty good. Everything was in normal, but my fasting blood glucose was 97. So it's still trending up, which I'm concerned about because I have, dealing with the high insulin, and everybody, and I mean everybody in my family is diabetic. So, that's a concern of mine. So I haven't heard back from my endocrinologist yet about my labs. They just got automatically released on their patient portal. So that's how I know what they are. I did put a call into their office the other day to talk about my labs because I had questions. So the nurse said that the doctor hadn't reviewed them yet, so she would send her a message. So I'll give them 2 more days until I call again, because I have no problem being pleasantly persistent. That's my MO. So, I want to talk about my labs and, where to go from here. So I'm still struggling with the counting carbs thing. Vyvanse is going really well. Like I said, it's week 7 of Vyvanse, not really having any side effects. It's just when I take it in the morning, I don't want to eat. And then if I get busy, so that's the other thing. So if I get busy, and I apologize if I'm like today, I'm a little happy. But if I get busy doing stuff, then I forget to eat. On Monday, I was really busy. Like I had to get up, I had to talk to my husband to see how he was. He ended up going to work since being sick recently. And then I had to go to my OBGYN because I was supposed to have a colposcopy and biopsies, which I was really anxious about. But I got there, I was in the room, got undressed, and she came in. She's like, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "Let's talk." So I basically told her I had decided that if these biopsies came back showing the low-grade dysplasia, that I did not want to treat right now. She wanted to freeze it, use cryotherapy or cryosurgery to treat the abnormal areas. But what I've noticed is that this shit keeps coming back. Year after year, it keeps coming back. And I just don't, I'm sorry, the procedures are painful. Not just uncomfortable, they're painful. So I don't want to be going through that every single year. So I decided as long as it's low grade, I don't want to treat, I just want to monitor. So when we got to talk about that, she's like, "Well, if you don't want to treat, then there's really no point in doing the colposcopy and the biopsies. There's a 2-year wait, observance period. We'll just see what happens. And I'll see you back in a year for your annual PAP." I was like, "Cool beans." So I had that. And then I had came home and I was working on our family budget because I am the administrator of our family budget. So I was trying to find more ways to save money. So I spent, about an hour working on that. Then next thing I know, I had to leave and go to my friend's work baby shower. And I was there and I did really well. Like they had pizza there and they had chocolate cake and everybody was eating it. They're like, "Oh, do you want some?" I'm like, no, that's okay. I'm good. So I was proud of myself. And then I left from there, and then I went to this bakery that's out that way to get my husband's favorite cake. So he loves this fresh cream green tea cake. So I got him that to kind of cheer him up. Came back, start working on the budget again. Next thing I know, it was like 3:30, and he came home, and I'm like, "Oh shit, I haven't eaten anything today. My bad." Well, I waited this long. Might as well wait till dinner at 6. So I just waited at 6. So my first meal of the day was at 6 o'clock. So that day, I was trying to pad. I think I only got to like 900 and something calories before I tapped out. And I was like, I can't eat anymore. But I've been doing really well. Since this time last week, I still weigh myself every day. We're still working on it with therapy. Oh, that was the other thing. I didn't have therapy on Monday because I canceled it because I was anticipating having to take care of my husband. So I'll see her again next week. So I did not have therapy this week. So yeah, we're still working on the weighing every day thing. But I'm looking at my weights down here. So in the last week, I've actually dropped 3 pounds. So I seem to be, that's kind of a lot for the week. Usually you don't want more than a pound and a half to 2 pounds in a week for it to be healthy weight loss. So I just have to keep an eye on that. I might have to pad my calories a little bit more because I don't want to lose too much weight too fast because it creates a lot of havoc in your body. tissues start breaking down, organs start failing. I don't want to have that. And plus, I want this to be sustainable. I don't want to be losing weight super, super, super fast. One, have hanging skin. Because I don't, that's not cute. Have all the skin just flapping around, deflated because you done lost all this weight so fast. But two, I want it to be sustainable and I want it to be healthy. So, I have to keep an eye on that because 3 pounds in a week is kind of a lot, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to treat myself today and go to my favorite brunch place. I haven't been there in like a month because I've been eating everything at home. So that should probably help. And then we're going to the movies tonight to go see the 50 Shades Free movie, the final movie of the trilogy. So my husband actually wants to really see it because of this whole, well, I don't know if I want to talk about it in detail in case anybody hasn't seen it, but there's this whole dynamic of this guy that's like obsessed with the main character, and my husband's trying to figure out why he's obsessed. And I've read the books, so I know, but I refuse to tell him. So he's like, oh, we need to go see the movie, so I need to find out why he's obsessed with him. So I'm excited we go to that tonight as well. So I'm just having a really great day. You guys can probably tell I'm really amped up, hyped up, and talking a lot and probably a mile a minute just because I'm having an awesome day. I've lost weight. My husband celebrated Valentine's Day with me, so I got flowers. So that's my love language. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's this book called The 5 Love Languages. Even if you're not in a relationship, you should read it because it's really insightful. You find out what your love languages are, meaning that you find out what ways of communicating or giving or receiving things that speaks to you and what makes you feel like you're loved. So I found out mine are quality time, which I was not surprised. Quality time is big for me. And gift giving. So getting a gift is a really big thing. So my husband doesn't give me a lot of gifts. That's just not the nature of our relationship, and that's fine because he shows me he loves me in other ways. But those few times, far between, and I don't mean like Christmas getting a gift. I don't mean like that. I mean like randomly for no reason for the most part. If he gets me something like during the summertime, I was having, a really bad time. I was kind of depressed, dealing with depression and stuff. And he just randomly got me flowers and a card and wrote in a card, telling me how I was strong and he loved me. And, he's really my rock and my cheerleader. And I almost cried. So that's really a big thing. So if you haven't heard of it, 5 Love Languages, I definitely recommend you find that out. We'll check it out and see. If you guys have any questions about what I'm doing, either with the 1200 calorie diet or where I'm at on the exercise front, any questions about Vyvanse, just comment below, and I will come back to you and let you know, and answer you, give you any insight. So thank you for listening to me on this rant. It is kind of a rant because now I'm at 13 minutes. But if you guys have any questions, let me know. Continue to look out for my videos. I really appreciate the feedback that I get. I do read everything. And if you really like me, subscribe. Y'all have a good day. Bye bye.